The human traveler walked slowly into the alien village. His boots pressed against the soft ground, leaving heavy marks in the soil. The air was quiet, too quiet. Only the faint sound of wind brushing through strange crystal trees filled the silence. He had been walking for many days across this strange planet. His supplies were almost gone, his body was tired, but his eyes stayed sharp. He expected danger, but instead he found something different. At the edge of the village he saw them. Small figures hiding in the shadows. Their bodies were thin, their eyes wide and glowing with an unearthly light. Alien children, silent but watching. Their gaze locked on him as if he carried something they needed. The man stopped, feeling the weight of those eyes. He placed a hand on the strap of his old pack, ready to defend himself. But there was no threat in those children, only hunger. Then one of them stepped forward. Her skin shimmered faintly under the dying light of the setting sun. Her voice was trembling, yet it carried a strange echo. "Feed our children, human," she whispered. The others whispered the same words, repeating them like a haunting chorus. "Feed us. Feed us." The man's chest tightened. He looked at them carefully. They were not violent, they were desperate. Their ribs showed through their fragile bodies. Their hands reached out but did not touch him. They waited as if bound by some hidden rule. He took a slow breath. The request was simple, but the way they said it was not. It was filled with both hope and fear. And then the last part came from the girl's lips. "Feed our children. And we'll give you a gift." The man raised his brow. His instincts told him to be careful. A gift? From starving alien children? That sounded strange, suspicious, maybe dangerous. But he could not ignore the tremble in their voices, the way their eyes glowed as if holding back tears. He stepped further into the village. The huts were old and broken, made from stone and glowing vines. No laughter, no sound of life, only silence at the edge of the square. Alien elders stood tall and still. Their eyes were hidden under dark hoods. They did not move, they only watched. The man spoke firmly. "Why are the children hungry? Do you not feed them?" His voice echoed in the empty square, but no elder answered. Their silence was heavier than any word. Again the children whispered, "Please, human, feed us. When night falls, you will see." The gift. His hand gripped the strap of his pack tighter. He had only a little food left. A few ration bars, some dried bread, maybe enough for one more day of travel. If he gave it away, he might not survive the next journey. But then he looked at the girl again. Her eyes, bright like stars, trembled with silent tears. Her small hands pressed against her thin chest as if to hold her fragile heart. And behind her, more children peeked out. All with the same hungry eyes. The man's throat went dry. He remembered the wars he had seen, the camps of refugees, the faces of children who had nothing. The look in these alien children's eyes was the same. Hunger knew no species, no planet, it was universal. But the promise of a gift made him uneasy. What did they mean by a gift when night falls? What secret were they hiding? He felt a strange tension in the air, as if the whole village was holding its breath, waiting for him to decide. The sun was sinking fast. The sky turned from gold to blood red. Shadows stretched across the square. The elders still did not speak. Their stillness was almost frightening. The children came closer but still kept their distance. They formed a circle around him, whispering the same words again and again. "Feed us.
Feed us. Feed us."
The sound echoed through the empty huts like a ghostly chant. The man's heart pounded. He had faced soldiers, beasts, and storms. But this was different. This was not a battle of strength. It was a test of compassion. His hand moved slowly to his pack. He pulled out a ration bar. His stomach growled in protest. He knew once it was gone, he would have little left for himself, but he broke the bar in two and held it out. The children gasped softly, as if they had never seen such food before. Their glowing eyes grew wider, but none of them touched it. They only looked at him, waiting. Then, the girl stepped forward again. Her voice was soft but clear. "When night falls, you will see." The man's hand shook slightly as he gave her the food. She took it gently, her eyes locked on his for a moment. He felt something strange pass between them, a current, a hidden energy. Then she turned and shared the food with the others, breaking it into tiny pieces so each child had something. As they ate, silence fell again, but the silence was no longer empty. It was heavy, thick with suspense. The elders finally moved. One of them raised a hand, pointing at the man, and said in a deep, echoing voice, "Stay, if you dare." The gift comes only when the darkness rises. The man stood frozen. The night was almost here. The gift was waiting, but was it salvation or a trap? The human traveler stood still in the village square. The sky above was darkening, colors shifting from deep red to violet. Stars began to appear, sharp and bright against the alien horizon. He could feel the eyes of both children and elders fixed on him. Waiting. His stomach tightened with hunger. He had given away a piece of his ration bar, and already he felt weaker. But when he looked at the children, breaking the food into small bites and sharing without complaint, he felt something stir inside his chest. It was not regret, it was a quiet sense of purpose. The little girl who had spoken first looked at him again. Her glowing eyes reflected the starlight. She chewed slowly, then whispered, "Human food. It is warm." Her voice trembled as though the taste itself was a memory. One by one, the children nodded. They were silent creatures, but their faces told everything. For the first time in many nights, they were not suffering. They were tasting something different, something alive. The man crouched down, his knees cracking with exhaustion. He opened his pack carefully. Inside, he had a small pot, some water left in a metal flask, and a few more ration packs, not much. Hardly enough for the road ahead. He stared at them, thinking of survival. Thinking of tomorrow, but tomorrow was uncertain. He had lived long enough to know that sometimes the only way forward was to give what you had now. He placed the pot on the stone ground and poured the water. Lighting a small fire from his travel kit, he began to cook. The smell of smoke rose, sharp and earthy, drawing the children closer. The elders stayed silent. Their hooded figures stood like shadows, watching every move, not interfering, not warning, only observing. The man felt uneasy under their gaze, but he ignored them. His focus stayed on the pot soon. The mixture of dried bread and ration powder thickened into a simple stew. Nothing fancy, nothing rich, but warm. A smell spread across the village. Stronger than the cold silence, the children inhaled deeply, their thin shoulders lifting with hope. He filled a small wooden bowl he found near the fire pit, handing it to the girl. Her fingers shook as she accepted it. Steam rose into her face. She smiled faintly, the first true smile he had seen here. Then she passed it not to herself, but to the smallest child behind her. The man froze for a moment, watching. That act of sharing touched him deeply. The girl, though hungry herself, chose to feed the younger ones first. The others did the same. No child kept the food only for themselves. Each bite was shared, divided, passed from hand to hand. It was strange, but beautiful in that moment. The man felt as if he was part of something larger. He had fed refugees before, fed soldiers and strangers, but this was different. This felt almost sacred as they ate. The glow in their bodies grew brighter. Their thin skin shimmered with lines of faint light, like stars being drawn across their arms and faces. The man blinked, rubbing his eyes. Had the food caused this? Or was it always hidden within them? The girl noticed his confusion. She stepped closer, her bowl empty now. Her voice was soft. "When you feed us, human, you awaken what sleeps inside." The man frowned. "What do you mean?" She did not answer directly, only whispered, "At night, you will see the truth." He felt a shiver down his spine. His instincts told him to be cautious. This was not just hunger, not just survival. There was something powerful tied to the food, tied to their trust. The fire burned lower as the last of the stew was shared. The man leaned back against a broken stone pillar. Tired but alert, the children settled near the fire, their glowing eyes softer now. Their whispers faded into quiet humming, a strange melody that sounded both alien and familiar. One of the elders finally moved. Stepping closer, his hood fell back slightly, revealing deep scars across his face. His voice was heavy like stone. "You should leave, human, if you stay. The night will claim you." The man raised his chin. "Claim me? Why?" The elder's voice deepened. "Our children carry a curse and a gift. Only in darkness does it awaken. Your kindness may bind you to it. Forever." The children stirred at those words. Their humming stopped, their eyes grew fearful. The girl shook her head and cried softly. "No, he is different." He gave without demand. "He must stay." The man felt torn. Part of him wanted to leave now, to escape before whatever danger the elder spoke of arrived. But another part, the stronger part, told him to stay. To walk away now would mean betraying the trust in those children's eyes. The elder's shadow loomed taller in the firelight. "The gift is not safe, human. It will change you. Do you wish to carry it?" The man clenched his fists. He thought of the stars, of his long, lonely journey, of the faces of children too weak to speak. He did not fully understand, but he knew one truth. If he ran now, he would never forgive himself. The fire crackled. The sky above deepened into black. The first howl of night winds began to rise, carrying a sound that was almost like voices. The man's heart pounded. He had chosen to stay. He would face whatever waited when the night fully came. The children's glow spread wider, their small bodies casting faint light like lanterns in the dark. The girl looked at him one last time and whispered, "Prepare yourself, human. The gift is near." And with that, the village fell silent again, as if the whole world was waiting for the darkness to reveal its secret. The night had fully fallen. The stars above were bright and sharp, almost too close. The human traveler sat near the dying fire, his back against the old stone pillar. The alien children were gathered close, their faint glowing bodies casting soft light across the square. The man's eyes stayed on them, but he could not ignore the presence of the elders. They stood like shadows at the edge of the light, tall and silent. Their hoods hid their faces, but their eyes glowed faintly from beneath. Watching every movement, he felt tension pressing in. His instincts screamed at him that something was about to happen. The air was too heavy, too charged with energy. Finally, one elder stepped forward, his cloak dragged against the dust. His voice came low and deep. "Human, why do you give what is yours to them?" The man looked up slowly. "Because they were hungry," he said simply. The elder's head tilted slightly, as if the answer was both expected and strange. "Kindness? Dangerous thing, it binds more tightly than chains." The man frowned. "Chains? What do you mean?" Before the elder could answer, another voice joined in, softer but sharper. A second elder stepped closer. "You fed them, and now their light responds to you. It will not stop, human, it will grow. It will tie you to our fate." The man's jaw tightened. He glanced at the children. Their glowing marks shimmered brighter, like lines of constellations across their small arms. They seemed unaware of the danger spoken by the elders. Their eyes still shone with innocent trust. He turned back to the elders. "If feeding them means sharing in their pain, then so be it," the first elder hissed softly. "You do not understand. Their hunger is not only of the body, it is of the soul. To feed them is to awaken what sleeps, and once awake, it cannot be put back to rest." The man felt a chill down his spine. "Then tell me what this gift is. Tell me why the children beg for food. Tell me what happens when night falls." The elders looked at one another, silence passing between them like a secret. Then one elder whispered, "The children are the last of us, the only spark of what we once were. Long ago our people held power. We could speak to the stars, bend the storms, but greed destroyed us. The gift was lost, buried within the children, dormant, waiting." The man listened carefully. His heart beat harder. "And food awakens it?" The elder nodded slowly. "Not just food, human, but food given freely, without demand, without trade. It is kindness that unlocks the light. Only then do the children awaken. Only then does the gift stir." The man lowered his gaze, his hand brushed against his pack, already light and almost empty. "So by feeding them, I have begun something I cannot stop." The elder's voice deepened. "Yes, human, you have tied yourself to their fate. When the gift blooms, you will share it, whether you wish to or not." The children stirred at those words. The little girl stepped forward, shaking her head. "No, he is not afraid. He stayed when others left. He fed us when others turned away. He is not like them." Her small voice carried across the square. "Strong and pure." The other children nodded, their glowing hands reaching toward the human. Though still not touching, their chant began again, soft but filled with strange power. "Stay, human, stay. Stay with us." The man's chest tightened. He could feel something in the air, a pulse, faint but steady, as if the children's glow was syncing with his own heartbeat. He felt drawn, caught in a web of light he could not see. The elders looked troubled. Their whispers grew sharper, words in an alien tongue he did not understand. The sound was harsh, almost angry, yet beneath it, he sensed fear. Finally, the eldest elder stepped closer. His hood fell back, revealing a face carved with deep scars and old sorrow. His eyes were silver pools, endless and heavy. "Human," he said, "if you stay until the next dawn, you will never leave the same. The gift will change you. It will burn through your veins. It will mark you as one of them." The man felt his breath catch. He was a wanderer, a survivor. He had lived through battles, storms, and endless journeys. But this was different. This was not survival. It was destiny pressing against him. He looked at the children again, their glowing faces watching him with hope, their hands trembling with hunger and light. The girl whispered softly, "Please, human, do not leave us. Without you we fade. Without you the gift dies." His heart battled his mind. Every instinct told him to run, to escape before it was too late. But something deeper, something human held him there, compassion. The same force that had guided him when he first broke his ration bar. The elders waited for his answer. Their eyes heavy with warning, the children waited too, their eyes glowing with fragile trust. The man rose slowly to his feet, his voice was firm. "I will stay, whatever comes, I will face it." The children gasped softly. Their glow flared brighter, the humming chant returned. Louder now, rising with the wind, the elders lowered their heads, as if mourning a choice already made. The night grew colder. The sky above swirled with strange light. Stars shifted in patterns he did not recognize. The air pulsed with hidden power. The man clenched his fists, standing tall among them. The choice was made, he would not run. He would stay until dawn, and deep inside the shadows, something ancient stirred, awakened by his decision, waiting for the moment to reveal itself. The fire had almost burned out. Only red embers glowed faintly in the cold night. The human traveler stood still, feeling the weight of many eyes on him. The children's glow shimmered brighter now, their thin bodies like living lanterns in the dark. Above, the sky shifted strangely. Stars were no longer steady. They pulsed, flickered, and moved as if alive. Constellations bent into shapes that he had never seen before. The air grew heavy with silence, then trembled with a sound that was not wind. It was low, deep, almost like a heartbeat. The man clenched his fists. His every instinct told him that something unseen was watching. The elders stepped back into the shadows, their robes whispering against the stones. They did not interfere, they did not speak. Only their glowing eyes stayed fixed on the sky. Suddenly, the children's voices rose together, soft and unearthly. They began to hum the same strange melody he had heard earlier. But now it was stronger, faster. The ground beneath his feet vibrated. The glowing patterns on their skin spread wider, connecting into complex lines that pulsed like veins of light. The man's throat went dry. He felt the rhythm pulling at his own chest, as if his heart wanted to match theirs. He tried to resist, but the sound sank deeper, reaching places inside him he did not understand. The little girl stepped closer, her face glowing like moonlight. She lifted her hand toward him but did not touch. Her voice was clear and soft. "It has begun, human. The night awakens what was lost, do not be afraid." Her words gave him no comfort. Fear gnawed at his mind, yet curiosity burned stronger. He wanted to know what secret these children carried, what gift the elders feared, what destiny he had stepped into. The wind howled suddenly, cold and sharp, carrying sparks of glowing dust. The huts around the square shuddered, their stone walls trembling as though the entire village was breathing. The fire collapsed into ash, and the only light left came from the children and the strange sky. One child let out a small cry. Her body arched as the glowing mark spread across her chest. Her eyes rolled back for a moment, then snapped open, shining pure white. The others followed one by one, their bodies shaking, their voices rising higher into a haunting chant. The man's heart pounded. He wanted to rush forward to help them. But the girl shook her head quickly. "Do not touch them, human. They are awakening if you interfere. The light will burn you." He froze, his hands trembling. The children's glow merged together, rising into a column of soft light in the center of the square. It stretched upward, piercing the sky. The stars above twisted violently, forming a spiral that spun faster and faster. The elders lowered their heads, whispering words in their ancient tongue. Their voices were sharp, filled with both awe and fear. The oldest elder finally spoke loudly, his scarred face pale. "The gift is stirring, it is too soon." Too soon. The girl turned to him again, her eyes glowing brighter than all the rest. "No, elder, the human has fed us, the bond is complete. The night has chosen him." The man felt his knees weaken. The bond? What did she mean? He felt heat rushing through his veins, his skin prickling as if tiny sparks ran under it. His vision blurred. For a moment he thought he saw double. One world ordinary, the other filled with glowing patterns and endless light. He staggered back, gripping the stone pillar. "What is happening to me?" he gasped. The girl stepped closer, her glow reaching out toward him. "The light recognizes your kindness. It will not let you go. You gave freely. and now it gives back. The column of light in the square shifted suddenly. A shape appeared within it, tall and undefined. Like a figure made of stars, its form bent, its head lowering as if to look directly at him. His breath caught in his throat. The presence was overwhelming. He felt small, powerless, like a single drop before an endless ocean. Yet at the same time, he felt a warmth spreading in his chest. A connection deeper than any he had known. The figure spoke without words. Its voice filled his mind, not his ears. You fed the children, human, you shared what was scarce. You carried kindness into the dark. For this, the gift will bind to you, his heart hammered. He wanted to answer, to speak, but no sound came. His mind spun with questions. What gift? Why him? What would it cost? The girl raised her arms, her voice trembling with power. Do not resist, human. If you fight it, the light will tear you apart. Accept it, and it will change you forever. The man fell to one knee, the heat inside him growing stronger, his vision filled with sparks, flashes of memories that were not his, alien wars, shattered worlds, endless cries of children lost to hunger. He gasped, his body shaking violently. The children's chant grew louder, echoing across the village. The spiral in the sky spun so fast it became a vortex of stars, pulling light downward into the square. The figure within the column reached out with a hand of starlight. The girl whispered one last time, her voice urgent, "This is the gift, human, but every gift has a price." The hand of light touched his chest. A shock wave burst outward, shaking the ground. The man screamed as the energy flooded his body. Every nerve burning with fire and brilliance, the elders cried out, some falling to their knees, others turning away. But the children stood firm, their voices rising higher. Their eyes shone brighter, their glow feeding into him. The man collapsed forward, his palms pressing against the ground. His vision dimmed, his breath ragged, yet deep within, something new had awakened, a spark that did not belong to humans. The darkness of night was no longer empty. It was alive, and it had chosen him. The human lay on the cold stone ground, his body trembling from the shock that had rushed through him. His chest still burned where the hand of starlight had touched. It felt as if fire and ice flowed in his veins at the same time. His breath came heavy, each inhale filled with strange energy that was not his own. The children gathered close, their glowing faces shone brighter. Like tiny stars circling him, their chants had softened, now replaced with whispers. The gift has chosen. The gift has chosen. The man pushed himself up on shaky arms. His vision blurred, the world around him split into two layers. In one layer he saw the broken huts, the elders, the children. The night sky above in the other. He saw lines of glowing patterns across everything, across the ground, the air, even the stars. It was as if hidden threads of power had been revealed to his eyes. He gasped, clutching his chest. What is happening to me? The little girl stepped forward, her glow softer now, her voice calm but filled with certainty. The gift is inside you, human. You are bound to us now. You see what we see. You feel what we feel. The man stared at her, his heartbeat wild. Why me? Why not one of your own? The elder closest to him stepped forward, pulling back his hood, his scarred face grim and pale. Because it was not given, it was earned. Our own hearts were poisoned long ago with pride. We cannot awaken the light. Only a stranger's kindness can, and you, human, have done what none of us could. The man's fists clenched. Kindness, just for giving food? The elder's silver eyes locked on him. Not just food, human, you gave without asking. You gave when you had little, that is what awakens the true bond. The man shook his head, still overwhelmed. His body was alive with sparks of energy. He felt as if every nerve carried light, yet beneath it all was a heavy weight, a sense of responsibility he had never carried before. The children surrounded him, touching the ground with their glowing hands. The light spread outward in rings. Each circle pulsed brighter until the entire square was covered in living patterns. They hummed again, their voices rising as if guiding the flow of the power inside him. He closed his eyes for a moment, and then he saw it. Visions exploded in his mind, planets burning, ships falling from the skies, children crying out in silence. He saw alien armies destroying, consuming, leaving only ruins behind. And in the middle of that destruction, he saw the same children, weak and hungry, fading away. He staggered back, gasping, "No! These are not my memories," the girl's voice came again. "They are ours, human. The gift carries the weight of our people. The memory of our fall, and now it is shared with you. The man's hands shook. He felt the pain of thousands, the hunger of generations. His chest tightened with grief that was not his own. His eyes burned, yet he did not cry. He was not sure if he could. The oldest elder spoke again, his voice heavy with sorrow. The gift is not only power. It is burden. To carry it is to carry us. To carry us is to suffer as we do. The man's mind spun. The warmth inside him shifted, growing heavier, but then, through the weight, he felt something else, a flicker of strength, a sense that he was no longer alone. The girl placed her glowing hand close to his, not touching, only near. The gift can destroy, but it can also heal. It depends on the one who carries it. The man steadied his breathing. He looked at the glowing lines across the ground, at the spiral in the sky, at the children watching him with trust in their eyes, and for the first time he did not feel like a wanderer. He felt like he belonged to something greater. He rose slowly, his legs still weak but firm. If this gift is mine now, then tell me what I must do, the elders whispered among themselves, some shaking their heads, some bowing in silence. Finally, the oldest elder spoke. The gift is not commanded, it guides and chooses. Already it has tied itself to you. Already it has awakened. What you do with it will shape not only us but your own kind as well. The man frowned deeply. My kind? You mean humans? The elder nodded. Yes, human. For as the gift binds you to us, it will also flow through you into your people. You are no longer only one man. You are the bridge between stars. The word struck him harder than any blow. He staggered again, gripping the stone pillar. A bridge between stars? A gift that could spread to humanity? The thought both terrified and inspired him. The children's chant rose again, but this time it was joyful. Their voices carried into the night sky. Their glow grew brighter, stronger, feeding the column of light that still touched the heavens. The man's body burned once more, but this time the pain was mixed with strength. He clenched his fists, feeling the energy pulsing in rhythm with his heart. The little girl looked up at him, her voice soft but filled with certainty. This is the shocking gift, human, not gold. Not jewels, not weapons. It is us, it is life, it is light, and now, it is inside you. The man's breath came heavy. His body trembled, but his eyes hardened with resolve. He understood now the gift was not a reward, it was a call. And as the night deepened, the human traveler realized his journey was no longer his alone. The gift had bound him to the fate of a people, and perhaps to the fate of the galaxy itself. The night pressed heavier on the village. The stars above still spun in strange spirals, and the column of light stretched high into the sky. The human traveler stood in the middle of the glowing square, his chest burning with the gift that now lived inside him. The children watched him with wide, glowing eyes. Their whispers filled the silence. He carries it now. He carries the light. Their voices trembled, not with fear, but with hope. The elders, however, remained grim, their faces carved with sorrow, their whispers sharp like knives. One elder stepped forward, his voice heavy. Human, you do not yet understand what you hold. The gift is not only strength, it is hunger. It will demand from you, and it will never stop. The man's fists clenched. He felt the power inside his veins, alive and restless. It called to him, tempting him with visions of storms he could command, of worlds he could shake. He saw flashes of himself standing against armies, his body glowing with the same light as the children. But then another vision came, darker. He saw himself burning cities, his hands crackling with lightning. He saw human faces twisted with fear, running from him as if he were a monster. He staggered back, gasping for breath. The girl stepped forward quickly, shaking her head. No, human, do not listen to the fear. The light responds to your heart. It is shaped by your choice. If your heart is kind, the gift will heal. If your heart turns cruel, it will destroy. Her words struck him deep. He stared at her, her small glowing face calm but full of wisdom beyond her years. So the choice is mine, he whispered. The eldest elder nodded slowly, his silver eyes heavy. Yes, human, the gift is a mirror. It shows the truth of the one who carries it. Already it has seen into you. Already it has bound itself to your compassion. But compassion can break, hearts can fall. You must decide. Will you carry it for good or let it consume you? The man's mind swirled. He had been a wanderer all his life, never tied to one place, never tied to anyone. Survival was his only rule, yet now he felt the weight of countless lives pressing on his shoulders. The children's hope, the elders' warnings, the visions of destruction. All fought inside his mind. He turned away for a moment, walking to the edge of the square. Beyond the huts lay silence and empty plains. He could leave. He could run. He could abandon this burden and keep walking as he always had. But even as he thought it, he knew it was impossible. The gift was already inside him, and more than that, the children had already tied themselves to his heart. The little girl followed him, her small footsteps silent on the stone. "Human," she whispered. "If you leave, we will fade again. The light will die, but if you stay, if you carry it, then the night will remember you, and so will the stars." Her words broke through the storm in his chest. He looked down at her fragile frame glowing faintly in the dark. He remembered the first moment he had seen her, trembling, begging for food. He remembered how she had shared the ration with the youngest. Even when she was starving herself, his jaw tightened. "I cannot let you fade," he said firmly. The girl smiled faintly, her glow grew warmer, spreading out like dawn across her small figure. "Then the choice is made," she whispered. The elders stirred uneasily. Their robes shifted, their voices sharp again. "Do not be foolish, human, you do not know the price. To carry the gift is to carry pain. It will demand sacrifice. You will suffer more than you imagine." The man turned to them, his eyes burning now with faint alien light. "Suffering I know, hunger I know, but I will not turn away. Not when these children still hope." The elders fell silent. Their warnings echoed in the night, but none could deny the truth of his resolve. The ground pulsed suddenly. The glowing pattern spread wider, connecting from the children to him, from him to the sky above. The column of light shook, then like lightning. A surge of power poured into his body. His back arched, his fists clenched, his scream cut through the night. The children did not move away, instead they sang, their voices rising in harmony, guiding the energy, binding it. Their glow fused with his, lines of light stretching between them like threads of destiny. The man fell to his knees. The visions returned, galaxies spinning, stars being born, ships crossing the void. He saw humanity standing at the edge of the unknown, reaching out, hungry for more. And now he held the key to guide them or to break them. The girl's voice reached him even through the storm, soft but steady. "This is the choice of humanity. You are the first to carry it. What you decide will shape not only us, but your people too. Will humanity use this gift to heal or to destroy?" His chest heaved, sweat dripped down his face. His mind battled between fear and courage. But slowly he raised his head, his glowing eyes meeting hers. "Then let humanity be known for kindness, not cruelty," he said, his voice shaking but strong. The night roared with energy. The spiral above burst into light. The column shattered into 1,000 glowing fragments that rained down like falling stars. Each spark touched the children, healing their frail bodies, filling them with strength. Their laughter, soft and bright, rose for the first time, breaking the endless silence of the village. The elders bowed their heads, accepting what had been decided. The gift had chosen, and the human had chosen too. He stood slowly, his body still trembling with power. His eyes glowed faint silver now, his voice calm. "I will carry it. I will carry all of you." The children ran to him, not in fear but in joy, their glow brighter than ever. And for the first time in many years, the alien village no longer felt dead. It felt alive again, but far beyond the village. In the swirling stars, something unseen stirred, something that had been waiting for this choice. Watching from the dark, the gift had been awakened, and its echo was spreading. Humanity's path had just changed forever. The night was long, but at last the first line of dawn touched the horizon. A faint silver glow spread across the alien sky, breaking the spiral of stars. The storm of light calmed, leaving only sparks floating in the air like fireflies. The human traveler stood in the center of the square, his chest rising and falling with slow, steady breaths. The gift still burned inside him, but it no longer felt like fire. It was softer now, like a steady flame that belonged to him. His eyes glowed faintly, reflecting the same light carried by the children. The alien children surrounded him, their faces brighter, healthier. No longer weak with hunger, they laughed softly, a sound that had not been heard in the village for many years. Their voices carried hope, breaking the silence that had haunted the place. The little girl stepped forward, her hands folded against her chest. Her glow shimmered warmly as she looked up at him. "You stayed, human, you gave, and the gift has chosen you. Now we are no longer fading." The man looked down at her, his voice steady but gentle. "I only did what was right. But the elders knew it was more. They stepped forward slowly, bowing their heads, their voices heavy with respect. You are no longer only human, you are Starbrother now, one who carries our past and our hope. The words struck him deeply. He had been a wanderer, nameless and forgotten on distant roads. But now, standing in the broken village, he carried a new name, one tied not only to himself but to an entire people. As dawn spread wider, the glowing patterns on the ground began to fade. Yet their memory remained burned into his vision. The gift inside him still pulsed, waiting to be guided. He knew the elders were right. It could destroy or it could heal. The choice would always remain his. The children gathered around him. Their hands reached out, this time touching his arms. His shoulders, without fear, without hesitation. The bond was complete, he was one of them. And they were part of him, the girl whispered. When you walk among your kind again, they will see the light in you. Some will fear it, some will want it. But remember, human kindness woke the gift. Human kindness must guide it. He nodded slowly, his jaw tightened with determination. He had seen greed, cruelty, and hunger in his own people. But he had also seen courage, sacrifice, and compassion. If this gift was to touch humanity, he would make sure it showed the best of what humans could be. The elders raised their hands, their voices low in unison. The bond is sealed. The dawn carries witness. Go now, Starbrother. Walk between our people and your own. Carry the gift. Carry the hope. The man turned toward the horizon, where the rising sun painted the sky in gold. He felt its warmth on his face, but it no longer felt like any sunrise he had known before. This one carried weight, destiny. The children followed him to the edge of the square, their laughter still soft, their glow fading as the daylight rose. Yet even in the sun, their eyes still carried light. The bond would not vanish, the connection was eternal. He stopped at the edge of the village, looking back one last time. The broken huts no longer seemed like ruins. They seemed like the roots of something waiting to grow again. The silence was gone, replaced by the sound of children's voices. The little girl ran to him. Pressing a small stone into his hand, it shimmered faintly, carrying the same glowing patterns that had covered the ground at night. Take this, human, she whispered. It will remind you of us. It will remind you of your choice. He closed his hand around it, feeling its warmth sink into his skin. He nodded once, his voice low. I will not forget. Then he turned toward the open plains. His steps steady, his journey was no longer his alone. He carried with him the weight of a people, the hope of children, and a gift that could change humanity itself. The dawn followed him, spilling light across the land. And though he walked alone, he knew he was no longer a wanderer. He was a bridge, a bearer of light, a Starbrother far above. The last fragments of the spiral faded from the sky, but something unseen lingered. Watching, waiting, the gift had awakened, and its echo would travel far, reaching other worlds, reaching other hearts. The man's eyes narrowed as he looked at the horizon. Let it come, he whispered, his voice filled with quiet strength. I will carry it. I will carry all of you. And with that, he walked into the dawn, a human bound to the stars, carrying a bond that would shape the future of two worlds.